We're looking at angles of elevation and depression. Angle of elevation. The angle formed by a horizontal line and the line of sight to a point above. The angle formed by a horizontal line and the line of sight to a point above. Looking at an angle of depression. It's the angle formed by a horizontal line and a line of sight to a point below. Oh, they same thing. It could just be that I was doing it from my head. So that's a picture of it. You've got the person. Their line of sight is like right here. Like that's the horizontal line. And then it looks up because that's where their eyes are. So horizontal line and line of sight goes up here. And that's an angle of elevation because you're looking up. Does that make sense? Okay. A bird or someone on the top of a building or something, your horizontal line and your line of sight come from the same place, but you're looking down at something. Does that make sense? Yeah, they do. Yes. Any questions on that part? Okay. So someone is standing on the ground looking up at a balcony 40 feet above the ground. Sometimes they'll give you the picture, sometimes they won't. It just depends on what mood they're in, really. What is the angle 42.6 called? Why is it angle of elevation? He's looking up. Do y'all see how that works? Okay. How far is the person from the balcony? Figure it out. What are you going to have to do to figure out how far the person is from the balcony? Ben says use tangent.
Yeah.
I would not use tangent. What distance are we looking for? Why are we looking for the hypotenuse and not the base?
Oh!
From the person to the balcony. Person up to the balcony, not to the building. Does that make sense? Okay. You'll see how that works? Okay, so how would we figure out that length? Okay, so sine of what? Equals. Do you agree with that? Then what would you do? Like that? But we're not there yet. No, it's from the picture. 40 over x. Okay. Does that make sense? So how do you solve for x? Divide by. Sine of 42.6 is a decimal. Yeah, but I don't like having to write those decimals. It makes it more exact if you do 40 and then divide by sine of 42.6 instead of having the decimal. Does that make sense? So what would you get? 40 divided by that gives you 59.1 feet. Y'all see how that works? Any questions there? Okay. How far is the person from the building? What length are we looking for? Y the base. Person, go into the building. Right? So multiply both sides by b. And so what I say, 40 times tangent 42.6? 40 divided by tangent. Does that make sense? No. No. This lesson is actually called Applying Trigonometry. Any other questions so far? Okay. Looking at another example. How far is it from lookout point to the base camp? See if you can figure it out. What are we going to have to do? I don't even have a triangle. Okay. Where would I make a triangle? From the base camp, go where? Yeah. You could also make this triangle if you wanted. I don't care which one you use. Okay, but I only know the angle of this red triangle. Okay, this is 3,400. Is this also 3,400? Yeah. Why are we going to use cosine? Yeah. We're looking for that value, right? So the sine of 28.4 equals what? Yeah. Yeah, if you use the black triangle, you would have to have a different angle, and you'd use cosine. Do y'all see how that works? Now what? Right? Y'all see how that works? Any questions here? Okay. Looking at another example. Arnold lives 750 feet above sea level. Betty lives 1,200 feet above sea level. And Cindy lives 120 feet above Betty. So we have a picture. What is that picture? Okay, Arnold is the A, Betty is the B, and Cindy is the C. Does that make sense? Yeah, they're on a mountain. Angle of elevation from Arnold's to Betty's is 24 degrees. How far is Arnold from Betty? What would you do for this one? Using this triangle, right? What is your angle? What are we looking for? The hypotenuse. And what do they give us? They give you this, which is what? Why 450? Is Arnold at sea level? He is 750 feet up, right? And Betty is 1,200 feet. 750 and 1,200, right? And so the only difference between them is 450. Does that make sense? That's the sea level difference. Y'all see how that works? Okay. So how far is Arnold from Betty? 1,106.3. 1,106. Okay. Any questions there? Any questions on that one? Okay. Looking at this one. The angle of elevation from Arnold to Cindy is 28 degrees. How far is Arnold from Cindy? What would you do for this one? We're looking at the green triangle. Ben says use 570 for the opposite side. Where did that come from? Yeah, we know this part is 450, and they told us from here to here was 120. Does that make sense? So we're again looking for the hypotenuse. So you would use sine, and what would you get? 1,214.1 feet. Any questions on that one? Okay. Looking at the last one.
These are called real life.
Yeah, they're applying trigonometry.
You're not going to point out.
Yeah, I have. Well, I think I have. Yeah. I figured out you can minimize that thing like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's what I see.
Miss A, you didn't have Miss A, but she was a teacher in BMI, and her name was spelled Herbert. Huh? Yeah, A-Bear.
It's just like Richard as a last name. A lot of people say Richard.
Yeah, I've heard Richard.
Or Richard. Yeah.
My dad's friend's last name was Michelle. Or Michael, I mean.
Yeah. Your name is not that. So see if you can figure out the height of the tree. They don't give you a picture, so if you need a picture, draw it. Do I draw the picture on these? Yes, I draw the picture. When I taught regular ed, we did these word problems, and we spent an entire day just practicing, like looking at the problem and drawing the picture and like filling it in. Like that was like we did problems like this all class period. That's it. Some people have more trouble filling in the picture. Yeah, I would like literally draw the picture. So I got a tree. What else do I know? Okay.
80 yards. Oh.
So what do I do? So I draw my little person. It was 80 yards, so 240 feet. Now what? Now what? Am I looking for this or this? So I'd have to use tangent. So what do I get for your height? If you got 60.94, what did you do wrong? Yeah, that's in yards. What did it ask for it in? So how do we get it in feet? Okay, or you can use the 240 instead of using the 80. But what should you get? Do y'all see how that works? Any questions on applying trig? If they don't give you the picture, I draw the picture. I mean, you can make it detailed or you can make it not detailed. But that's how I draw my pictures. That's not asparagus. Asparagus looks like more like that has like things on it. Such a great picture, right?